It's about that time, and now it's going down. And we ain't letting nothing stop us, ain't no slowing down. Now, it's Kingdom Marketing Secrets. And every single week, you gotta pick this.
I think it's finally time. I think it's time to flow. I think it's time to start this podcast so they can know the right tips and strategies that bring success. It calls heaven on earth and our busyness. But this is all true because he changed the game and brought the kingdom to every soul representing his name. Now position yourself in him to be blessed and bring heaven on earth in your busyness. It's about that time and now it's slowing down. And we ain't letting nothing stop us, ain't no slowing down. Nah, it's Kingdom Marketing Secrets, and every single week you gotta pick this. It's about that time, and now it's going down. And we ain't letting nothing stop us, ain't no slowing down. Nah, it's Kingdom Marketing Secrets, and every single week you gotta pick this.
Welcome to Kingdom Marketing Secrets, where you'll hear the best tips, tactics, and takeaways, and any other cool words starting with T, so you can advance your business online the Kingdom way. Welcome your host, Christopher Harold.
Yes, 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 yes. That is a standing ovation. My friends, my fellow subscribers and listeners, today is a day of celebration. Today is the 100th episode of the Kingdom Marketing Secrets podcast. 100. Wow. We hit the C note. Wow. 100. So today is a day of celebration. So please, I want you to celebrate with me this awesome occasion, this awesome milestone to have 100 episodes in the Kingdom Marketing Secrets podcast. And this episode here, we're going to keep it celebratory throughout. And I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm actually going to share with you my thoughts from behind the scenes of creating this podcast. I'm going to kind of give you my summary of the previous 99 episodes and my thoughts. I'm going to share where I was mentally at certain points of time, because when I look back and when I started this Kingdom Marketing Secrets podcast, my goodness, a lot has happened. A lot has transpired. And so I'm excited to share with you because I hope I can inspire you and motivate you, because a lot happened. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. But we did it. We hit 100 episodes. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts and journeys, recap some episodes, give you some feedback on some episodes that maybe stood out more than others. I just want to talk and have a conversation with you. So if you have enjoyed the previous 99 episodes, sit back, relax, and enjoy this one with me together and celebrate with me 100 powerful episodes in the Kingdom Marketing Secrets podcast. Now, before we dive into that, I do have a brief announcement that I have to share with you, because something big is coming. And we're about a little over 2 weeks out from a huge mega event that hasn't been around in 6 months. If you heard some of the previous episodes, and the rumors are true, guys, the Money in Marketing Masterclass is back. It's coming back brand new, revised, 10 times better, 10 times more impactful. And you know how powerful, if you attended the previous Money in Marketing Masterclass, either one of those, you know how powerful and life-changing they were. I mean, I've helped over 5,000 entrepreneurs get more clients, grow their business, discover their assignment, change their lives. Being part of the Money Marketing Masterclass and also part of God's Masterpiece, which is our primary program. And now we have something brand new we're going to be unveiling soon. So I'm just excited, guys, what God is doing. So here's the deal. If you're a coach, consultant, or expert, and you're truly ready to scale your business, you want to go from overworked, overwhelmed, and have an under delivering business, I'm going to share with you how I took one particular strategy that I'm going to call the KVE technique. And I'm going to show you how we generated over $324,000 in a brand new coaching business in less than 12 months. I'm going to share with you how you can go and scale your current coaching, consulting, expert business now, where you keep it simple, simplified, and you do this consistently, persistently over time. Where literally, you can increase your business 5 figures plus in 90 days or less. So what you need to do, my friend, is go get your spot. Go to moneyandmarketingmasterclass.com. Go to moneyandmarketingmasterclass.com and get your spot ASAP. We're going to be kicking this off here very, very soon. And it's, as you know, there's not much out there today like the Money and Marketing Masterclass. From the kingdom perspective, from the breakthroughs, you just know. If you experienced it, you know. So go. It's brand new. I can't wait to share this stuff with you guys. It's going to be game changing. So go to moneyandmarketingmasterclass.com. All right. So let's celebrate, guys. Come and celebrate with me. Episode 100. And what I'm going to do is look back on some previous episodes that I've shared inside of this and kind of just give you a whole of the storyline. Now, the Money and Marketing Masterclass kicked off in September 2019. And when I look back, wow. I look back and see what God has done in this journey. From where we are today, episode 100, for where we were when episode 1 was published. And I look back, and that podcast was published in a period of my life in business where business was going downhill because God was trying to remove me from an assignment I was in. And unfortunately, I had a mentor at that time that betrayed not just me, but several hundred other people. Betrayed us and just didn't do good business at all. And had no convictions about it. And I was hurt and really betrayed because I was kind of close to this fella. And the podcast was birthed through that pain, through that betrayal, through this time where God had already told me previously, 2 years prior, that he had a new assignment for me. But I wasn't really listening. Because what I was doing was working. And it was working quite well. But God put this Kingdom Marketing Secrets in me. As you know, we made an amazing song for it, as you jam to, for 100 episodes now. We made an amazing music video for it as well that folks just love. And God inspired me to create this podcast. Why? Because his people needed to hear it. His people need to hear some truths. His people need to hear marketing and business and sales and growth from a kingdom perspective. Because there are tons of secular people out there, right? People building their own empires. But there's very few people that share marketing and business and sales and strategies from this perspective, from a kingdom perspective. I probably can count them on one hand. Right? So I brought both worlds together. Kingdom along with the marketing and sales piece, the online marketing and all that good stuff, right? And it's been crazy. And when I look back on episode 1 was about, I was welcoming you to Kingdom Marketing Secrets, sharing you why I started this podcast. And then we moved into, episode 3, digital marketing ethics, where I was sharing, things from an ethical standpoint, right? The way things look. And then we really started getting into a lot of deep stuff in episode 4, where I was talking about kingdom entrepreneur versus a Christian business owner. See, a lot of people don't know and don't realize that there's a vast difference between a Christian business owner and the Kingdom Entrepreneur. I teach this stuff inside of my God's Masterpiece program. Also, I touch on this too inside the Money Market Masterclass, where I unveil something called a prosperity pyramid that God gave me in April of 2020. And people get their minds blown once they see me explain what the prosperity pyramid is. And it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. But there is a difference, because I used to be that Christian business owner. I used to be that Christian who owned a business. And basically, Monday through Saturday, I was about my money. I was hustling. I was grinding. And on Sunday, that's when I turned religious, holy, serving, speaking in tongues, turning flips, cartwheels, full of the Holy Ghost, right? Then when Monday come, back again. So I was able to separate the two. But a kingdom entrepreneur can't. Because who your very identity is called as who you are as a kingdom citizen. So you cannot separate the two. And so that's a very deep episode. And then, I started sharing some powerful marketing strategies, episode 5 and episode 6 and everything like that. Where I talk about, top lead magnets, 8-figure earners, secret sauce to success. And then we dove into some really powerful stuff. Episode 7 and 8. 8, the anatomy of online sales, but 7, the anatomy of online sales, but 8 was kingdom culture in business. See, the kingdom has its own culture, just like it has its own government. That's why I always teach the kingdom is not a religion. Christianity is a religion. And I left the religion of Christianity 2 years ago, because what we have today, especially in United States or the UK and Western world, is not kingdom. It's not what Jesus came here to proclaim. It's basically Catholicism. It's a religion. But the kingdom has a government, and the kingdom has a culture. And so I broke down the kingdom culture in business. Very powerful episode. Then we dove into target market and needs and want, and then to mindset stuff. See, episode 11, 3 mindsets that are hindering God's favor in your business and life. See, there are certain mindsets that are hindering your growth. One of them I share is a religious mindset. You got to go listen to that episode 11, to get the other 2. But one of them is a religious mindset. Unfortunately, most folks are stuck with a religious mind, especially those in Christendom. And it prevents them from fulfilling their kingdom assignment. It prevents them from doing what is the exact thing they were put on this planet to do. You ever wonder why Jesus' number one enemy was religious people? And unfortunately today, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes, and all those folks, right? They are the new Christians of the day. They are the Christians of today. Because most people, and I used to be one. I used to be a very religious, zealot Christian. And that mindset and I was broke, living paycheck to paycheck. I was not prospering. Yet I was, I love the Lord. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. I said all those crazy religious Christian cliches. Yet I'm struggling. I'm hustling and grinding, begging God for money. That's not kingdom. That's what happens when you're in religion. And then around November 2019, I started sharing some stuff I love to talk about, video success formula. I love videos, So we dove into some videos, success formula, different things you can just follow to create much better videos. Then on December 4th, 2019, I had a friend of mine came on as a guest. Her name is Kim Tatum, and we talked about prayer secrets. And I interviewed her. If out of my 100 episodes, I only think I got 2 or 3 guests. So if I bring a guest on, you better believe it's going to be something powerful and impactful for you, right? Now the next 100, I'll probably bring on a couple more guests, but the prayer secrets was really good because Kim is a really powerful woman of God, and a prayer warrior, right? And we shared some very powerful prayer secrets in that you need to go check that one out. And then now, amazing thing about this, when I look back now, I launched this podcast 3 months prior to a worldwide pandemic hitting. Now, this is how God works. I had no idea. Remember, I told you I launched this. At this time, I was going through some tough ordeals with a mentor. With the mentor, I invested a lot of money to be in his program, right? And what he did wasn't cool. And at the same time, business was drying up, and because God was calling me away for something. And when I look back on this, I'm like, wow, it makes sense now. Episode 16, December 18, 2019, that's when COVID-19 hit. And also, this episode here is Where is God in the Dry Season? Where is God in the dry season? Powerful, powerful, powerful. Because that's exactly where I was at. And let me share something with you that only my clients know inside of God's Masterpiece, and some few people know, some other people know who was an opportunity to be a part of my other Money Marketing Masterclass. But in December 2019 was a very dark moment in my life because I wanted to commit suicide. It got so bad and dark for me that I actually called the suicide hotline in December 2019. And when I got on the phone, they told me that I was caller 54. 54. And I was like, my God, are you telling me there are 53 other people ahead of me who also want to take a permanent solution to a temporary problem? And that's when I really had an epiphany. I hung up the phone. Me and God had it out. I cried. I yelled. I said a few choice words. We fought. We wrestled. And I got humbled. And that's when things began to change. Because I was like, I don't get it, Lord. I'm working hard. I'm doing everything. I did everything right. I'm being betrayed. I'm being let down. Business is drying up. Life, I don't understand this, God. What's going on? And my kids, I heard my kids talking. And I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And when I'm telling you I want to commit suicide, yeah, I had something in my hand that could have ended it all. My parents never heard this before. If they listen to this episode now, it's about the first time they ever heard this. But it was something in me that was bigger than that. And when I look back now, I've had a lot of folks tell me the enemy was trying to take you out because of what God was going to do. Because little did I know, a few short months later, God will birth the Money Marketing Masterclass and birth God's masterpiece, which has transformed so many lives of Christ-centered kingdom entrepreneurs. See, the enemy always wants to kill you off your dream because he knows the impact that you can have for the kingdom. When you have no impact, when you have no threat to the kingdom of darkness, the enemy does nothing to you. The enemy does nothing because why? You're no threat to his kingdom. But I was a legit threat, and I wanted to take myself out. But by God's grace, I did. And I had a good friend named Jake who helped me out through that dark moment in my life as well. And then we move into the new year. Very powerful episode. Top 6 questions to answer to ensure success in the new year. And then I talk about certain goals God would bless. Listen, there are certain goals God would bless. There's certain things God won't bless. Well, one thing God revealed to me, and I had to change this, when God gave me a kingdom revelation, is that I had to stop praying for God to bless my business. See, as a Christian, we've been taught asking God to bless us. But as a kingdom citizen, that's ignorance because you're already blessed. And God revealed to me, God said, stop praying, asking me to bless your business and see what I'm blessing and become a part of that. God said, stop praying, asking me to bless your business and see what I'm blessing and become a part of that. See, God is not interested in our personal success. Only corporate kingdom success catches God's interest. If your vision is just for you, God ain't got nothing to do with that. And then I went into some bait, how to create the right bait in your business. Very powerful episodes there. That was like, man, a 3-part series we did at the end of January 2020. And then episode 23, we did 5 requirements of living your dream with Pastor Joe Oakley. And that was a good one because I heard his sermon. And I said, you know what? That'd be a sermon to be powerful, to be shared with my Kingdom Marketing Seekers podcast audience. So we kind of touched on that 5 requirements of living your dream. So definitely that was episode 23 was powerful. And then we moved to 3 things you got to be okay with as an entrepreneur. And even today, there are certain things that if you want to grow your business, you got to be okay with. And I'm going to share one with you. One thing you got to be okay with is other people not succeeding. You're like, what? Chris, I heard you say your goal is try to help as many people as possible in the kingdom, coaches, consultants, experts, prosper more, succeed more, so they can give more to the poor and do more good things. And you'll be 100% correct. That is a dream of mine. But I can't force you to do anything. I can't force people to invest in themselves. I can't force people to be a part of God's masterpiece. I can't force people to invest in ads. I can't force people to invest in mentoring. I can't force people to invest in themselves, to change their habits. I can't force them. And one thing I had to learn and discover many years ago, one of my mentors, and this guy has sold over $100 million online. He said, you got to be okay with certain people failing. And I was like, what? He said, why? Because everyone does not have the same drive and determination as you. They may say it. They may talk it. A lot of folks are good talkers, but they don't have the same drive and determination as you. And so you got to be okay with certain people failing. And then how to see the end from the beginning is a powerful attribute that God has on episode 25. And then the one skill that solves all problems. See, powerful February 26, 2020. Now we still haven't even launched. Now at this time, I'm still going through some challenges. Still going through some issues. But every week I'm consistently providing value content for my audience. And the one skill that solves all problems. It's a powerful episode. You go listen to that. Because if you get that one skill down, you should never be broke. Here's one thing I know now. I should never, ever, ever be broke again in my life. Number one, I'm a kingdom citizen. I shouldn't be broke. But now, of what I discovered. So go listen to that episode. Then episode 27, how to monetize your list. Episode 28, March 16, 2020. That's when, what happened? The pandemic hit the U.S. It came in December 2019, and March it hit the U.S. And episode 28, how to profit during the pandemic. And man, that is crazy when I think about it. I was prophesying to myself when I created that episode. In March of 2020, I had zero income coming in. I lost all my clients because at this time I still had a digital marketing company. I was working with mortgage people and realtors, but God was pulling me away from that. And then the ones I had, once the pandemic hit, they bailed. They said, we can't do it anymore. They panicked. They like bailed. And I did an episode, how to profit during the pandemic, and I wasn't even profiting. But little did I know what would happen later on that year. Because 2020 was the most prosperous year in my life ever. Not even close. Powerful episode. Go listen to it. And then the mindset needed to thrive in a crisis. See, powerful. I shared that a couple of days later. Then trust and obey. See, when I was going through this period of growth, this period of darkness, this period of transition, I had a hashtag at this time that I put on all my posts on social media: trust and obey, trust and obey, trust and obey. Because I was like, Lord, all I have is you. I can't trust in certain people now. All I can do is trust in you. And I'm going to do what you tell me to do. I said, this doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to do it. And at this time, God was transitioning me and getting ready for me to launch the Money Marketing Masterclass. And then getting ready to birth God's Masterpiece movement. So trust and obey was starting this. Then how to attract quality leads. Then what is a kingdom business? I can tell you a kingdom business is totally different than what you might think. A kingdom business is totally different than anything else. And then episode 33, how to get more fascinating attention to your business. In April 2020, this is when we're getting ready to launch a beta group for the Money Marketing Masterclass. And little did I know, episode 35. What is God's masterpiece? It's amazing when I look back on these episodes and see where God has taken me on this journey of growth. It's amazing. What is God's masterpiece? Then episode 36, website and funnels, the success of Abraham. I break down the success of Abraham. Ooh, I need to listen to that again. April 2020. Go listen to that one, episode 37. Then the 7 benefits of a crisis. Every crisis presents an opportunity, and there are 7 major benefits. I shared that in May of 2020. And then in May of 2020 is when God had birthed God's Masterpiece 1.0. Wow. Man, Lord. Episode 39, Sales Psychology Secrets. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And 3 distinct characteristics of a crisis entrepreneur. How to get paid what you're worth. A lot of folks struggle getting paid what they're worth. Then how to get paid from what you know. Powerful episodes. Then I dove into some life cycle lead generation, episode 44. I mean, there's so many on here, guys. 10 rules for jumbo success with ads, episode 46. Episode 47, what your pastor never told you about provision. What your pastor never told you about provision. Episode 47. I've had people been around me now. They said, I've been in church 30 years. I never heard this kind of teaching before, ever. There's so many people in religion, Christianity, they're locked up with these limiting beliefs, with these religious thinking, with these pastors teaching them their own doctrine or some doctrine of John Calvin or, doctrine of St. Augustine, I mean, it's amazing. No one's teaching the kingdom that Jesus taught. They're teaching everything else, but not the kingdom. The power of Jesus genius of creating online courses. Should you invest in a secular mentor? July 2020. Episode 49. Powerful, 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 because a lot of folks, I've done it too in the past, but if someone doesn't line up with your values, you got to be very careful because they're going to teach you certain. I know one guy, all he does is talk about his yacht. He talks about his yacht all the time. You want a yacht? I got me a yacht. That's all he talks about. Very shallow fellow. So be very careful. Then episode 50 is the one that really became groundbreaking. Episode 50, why I'm leaving Christianity. That was one of the most powerful episodes ever done. Why I'm leaving Christianity. Go listen to it. It would change your life. Episode 50. Because I am in the religion of Christianity. I don't even call myself a Christian. Right? Because pagans actually labeled you that name. I know what it means, little Christ. I'm supposed to be a follower of Christ, but pagans gave you that name. God never called you that. God called you citizens. God called you ambassadors. God calls you sons. Jesus never came to earth to start a religion called Christianity. But why so many folks caught up in religion Christianity? And when you're caught up in religion Christianity, to the world, it just you know different than a Muslim. You know different than a Buddhist. You know different than a Hindu. Right? Because they see those world religions all equal. So you can't even effectively witness to someone in the world because you're caught up in a religion and they ask you, well, what makes your religion different than the Muslims? But you realize the kingdom has nothing to do with a religion. And Jesus never came to earth to start Christianity. Man did. But yet people love the religion of Christianity. And I used to too, because that's all I knew. And if you have stopped growing, if you're not willing to be opened up to something new, not really new, it's been around since Genesis, the kingdom, Jesus said himself in the gospel that the kingdom was created before the very foundation of the world. You see nothing about religion, but the kingdom. Isaiah 9:6 told you what Jesus was coming to bring to earth, the kingdom government. Nothing about religion. Yet, 200 years after Jesus left, this religion of Christianity started to take over. Episode 50. So go listen to episode 50. It'll radically transform you. Episode 51, the power of flash sales. How to be able to make quick cash in your business. How to be able to make quick revenue in your business. Powerful. Episode 51. Then, why most Christians, entrepreneurs miss God's best for them. How to create a blessed business. The power of mentorship. People in my God's Masterpiece program know this, so I don't have to say this, but just like people invest with me to mentor them, I also invest to get mentored as well. And if you're not getting mentored, I can tell you won't grow. And it's oxymoronic to expect others to pay you, and you're not willing to invest money to pay others to help you, but you expect others to pay you for your product or service. That's called oxymoronic. Then, how to overcome your bills, stresses, and problems. That's a powerful episode. I want everybody to listen to that one, because that's how you attract people in the world. How to overcome your bills, stresses, and problems. Powerful is something probably you never heard before. Then my wife. Yes, my wife. August 26, 2020. Powerful. One of the most. This here got a lot of feedback from people, a lot of testimonials. But how to succeed as an entrepreneur when your spouse isn't, with my wife, Shalon Harold. Episode 56. We did an interview style. It was awesome. And my wife is not an entrepreneur. And we went through a lot. We've been through a lot. If you know our story, we've been through near divorce. We've been through like $35,000 worth of credit card debt. We've had issues, challenges. We've been married now, to the time of this recording, almost 19 years. But a few years back, there was no way this was even in sight. So you need to listen to that episode. If you're married, if you're single, if you know anybody's married or they're single, and one person is an entrepreneur and the other person isn't, listen to that episode, because we went through a lot. And we'll share with you the secrets on how you get through that, because it's unlike anything else. In episode 57, I make more sales, deception of business in your business, how to be more productive. Does God want you rich? Powerful episode, September 9, 2020, episode 59. Does God want you rich? Let me ask you, does God want you rich? What's your answer right now? Does God want you rich? Well, let me ask you this. Does God want you poor? Right? See, a lot of folks have an issue with money. Yet you go work a job to get money. But you have an issue with money. Something's wrong with that. So does God want you rich? I can tell you this. He doesn't want you poor. And what good can you do? See, I was able to give way more financial resources to the poor and impoverished, to an organization I'm working with out of Kenya, because of the success of our business. If I was poor, I would not have been able to do that. If I was broke, living check to check, I would not have been able to do that. So does God want you rich, or does God want you poor? Then working with the law. Powerful episode 60. 3 words to eliminate to succeed as an entrepreneur. Everyone knows me. I'm big on language. Why? Because words give images. And I see people all the time, they say the wrong things in their business. They ask the wrong questions in their business, and they wonder why they struggle. Because they don't understand that words create pictures, words create images. So the 3 words to eliminate to succeed as an entrepreneur. Episode 61. Episode 62 is one that kind of controversial, but I don't shy away from controversy. Why I don't pay my kids for chores. You might pay your kids for chores, I don't. And I tell you why, episode 62. I don't pay my kids for chores. You can. That's your business. I don't. And I tell you why. And I believe my kids will be better off for it. Check it out and see why. Then the economy of time and money. Most folks value the wrong thing here. Most folks value money more than time, which is crazy when you use money to buy time. Check out the dichotomy, episode 63. Then the two enemies of your success. Then the necessary habits of success and the unfair advantage of a kingdom entrepreneur. You have an unfair advantage of a kingdom entrepreneur that most folks don't even realize, they don't even leverage, they don't even use right now today. That the secular entrepreneur doesn't have a clue. The Christian who has a business doesn't have a clue. And anybody else. As a kingdom entrepreneur, you have an unfair advantage. Episode 66. Then episode 67, I dove into the 10 steps to goal-setting success, part 1 and part 2, and 68. The fastest way to increase your income. Success loves speed. Now, you want to build your business, you want to be fast or slow. I mean, success loves speed. So listen to episode 69. Then why your prayers are failing, episode 70. Your prayers are failing for success. Why your prayers for success are failing for a certain reason. Because you don't know how to pray. You've been taught how to pray from the church. You've been taught how to pray from a religious perspective, but you don't know how to pray, because if you knew how to pray, you will see more results in your life. You and I have been taught to pray for money. But if you understood Matthew 6:33, you wouldn't pray for money. But the church has taught you to pray for money. They told you to raise your hand. Who want a financial blessing? You raise your hand. You come out to the altar call, to the prayer team for money. And that's totally backwards. That's insult to God himself. That's disrespect to God himself. Because do your kids got to beg and plead and pray to you for money, for food, for sustenance? Then why will a son or daughter need to do it with the father? Because you've been taught wrong. Then one of my most favorite episodes was really inspired me, because during this time, I didn't even share. I'm writing my best-selling book, Kingdom Affirmations, How to Activate the Power of Heaven on Earth in Your Words. And I talk about this, I believe, on page 26 of my book, I believe. Kingdom Protocols, episode 71. One of the most powerful episodes, because I share with you that 99% of people who call themselves Christians don't have a clue about. And unfortunately, still today, most people don't know how to get blessed because they don't understand kingdom protocols. See, I do. I believe that's why our business is prospering so much, because I've leveraged kingdom protocols. It's a chance you don't understand kingdom protocols because you've been taught to think and do things as a religious Christian. Go listen to this. It will change your life. Episode 71, Kingdom Protocols. Because like I said, and this actually, I talk about this even more in my book, Kingdom Affirmations. Go get my book, Kingdom Affirmations. Go to kingdomaffirmations.com. It will radically transform you. Go to kingdomaffirmations.com and go get my book right now. Then the 10 rich emotions. 10 poverty emotions. So episode 72, episode 73, I give you 10 rich emotions and 10 poverty emotions. Because why? Emotions dictate your behavior, and behavior dictates your actions, and actions dictate your results. 3 keys to becoming a top earner. The 9 takeaways from Nathan. I saw this guy on TikTok. Now, I'm not a TikTok person, but that's probably only the 1 or 3 times I've been on TikTok, maybe 4 times. And I saw this guy named Nathan. And I had to share what I saw this guy do. And this guy was an average, regular, 9-to-5 dude. All of a sudden, he became famous. And I share with you what he did and how you could use this in your business to grow. Episode 75. Then episode 76, how to unlock overflow. Episode 77, how to turn a side hustle to a full-time gig and a true gift that makes room. Episode 78. This is one of the most misquoted verses in the Bible. That it said, the gift will make room for you and bring you for a great man. I used to misquote it too. But I can tell you it's not what you think. I tell you in episode 78 what the true gift that makes room for you. It's not what you think. I studied the Hebrew and the Greek on this and understand the kingdom backdrop, because Solomon is the one who wrote it. And the true gift that makes room for you has nothing to do with your talents or abilities. But you've been taught that incorrectly. Go listen to episode 78. You discover the true gift that makes room for you. It's not your talents. It's not your abilities. It's not any of that stuff. It's something that falls in line with kingdom protocols. It's throughout the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. See, the Bible was written on the kingdom, and people in the Bible understood kingdom protocols. But unfortunately, those of us today, especially those of us who live in a democracy, which is like most of the world, have no clue what a kingdom is, have no clue what kingdom protocols are. That's why the stuff you're hearing today from the pulpit is not accurate, because it's not coming from the kingdom perspective. It's teaching you religion. How to have a prosperous new year in business, December 31st, 2020, New Year's Eve, episode 79. Then how we did over 300K in the middle of a pandemic. Check that out, episode 80. And something happened in January 2021. Something happened to almost derail me once again. What happened? I caught coronavirus. And I tried to gut it out. I had a money market masterclass plan. I showed up 2 days before I got tested positive for COVID-19. And I could barely breathe. I could barely talk, but I wanted to show it. Why? Because I'm a man of my word. And everybody said, Chris, go rest. Dude, go rest. So I rested a week. I was in isolation and quarantine. And something also happened during this time where the group out of Kenya that I was able to support financially sent me a picture of all them and the kids and everybody and told me they was praying for me. And that meant a lot to me. That really transformed me, because it made everything else I was doing worthwhile. And it made me say, Lord, okay, we have to get back on this, Lord. We have to, Father. And I'm healed in Jesus' name. And they prayed and prophesied healing. And God began to heal me from coronavirus. I also didn't mention a few months prior, that September 2020, both my mother and my father caught coronavirus. And they had a severe case. They were really sick. And it was really bad. But God healed them too. So God is still a healer. Episode 81, the magic word. There's a magic word in business. Episode 82, Facebook ads versus billboard ads. Very powerful, very powerful. And then episode 83, when I went broke, fought God and bounced back. I share you some of my powerful stories to inspire you. If I can do it, so can you. And then something happened in March of 2021. Something was unveiled. My best-selling book, Kingdom Affirmations, was released March 2021. And this book has been still going viral, going crazy today. Bestseller on Amazon. Best-selling right now online. It's become the number one book for Kingdom entrepreneurs in 2021. And again, you'll get a copy at kingdomaffirmations.com. I did a brand new music song and video that people love called Kingdom Affirmations. We did this crazy video. I'm walking in the middle of the streets in downtown Dallas. I rented out a studio in downtown Dallas, and we did all these different movie scenes and everything. Sick, amazing video. My man Daryl Gibson shot it for me and did the editing for me. Powerful video. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Kingdom Affirmations. Amazing video. An amazing book. So episode 84, do affirmations actually work? Because we know God inspired me to write this book in the middle of the pandemic. Because why? His people need to hear something and realize that, hey, this is how you still unlock favor. This is how you still activate the power of heaven on earth in your words. This stuff still works. It's still true. Because I tried everything in the past. I tried the secret. I tried all the sayings of the gurus. I tried the manifest and the meditations and the mantras. And I did all that mess. I tried to manifest a red navigator in my driveway. And that never worked. Because most of that stuff is bogus bull crap. But God revealed to me what works. And Kingdom Affirmations works. Why? Because the word of God is in this. And God showed me what works. And how his word still works and it's powerful. And you need to have affirmations. So if you tried all that secular stuff, you need to go get this book. And it will work and transform you. In episode 85, Identity Crisis. Who are you? Do you even know who you are? Most people today on this planet, 85% of people on this planet have no idea why they're here. They have an identity crisis. They have no idea why they even exist on this planet. Do you know why you exist on this planet? 86, how to become an influencer. You want to be able to impact more people, you got to become an influencer. Episode 86. Then the 7 ingredients to prosper as a kingdom entrepreneur, very powerful, because just like you got to bake a cake, you need the proper ingredients to bake a cake. Well, if you're going to prosper as a kingdom entrepreneur, you need to understand the ingredients there. Episode 87. Episode 88, 4 enemies of success. 89, which is king, content or delivery. Then episode 90, are you worthy of riches and God's best? Episode 91, why you must succeed. There is a mandate why you need to succeed. That's why I believe that if you live paycheck to paycheck and you're okay with that, and all you're worried about is getting your bills paid, I believe you're selfish. You don't have to like it, but you're selfish. Why? Because nowhere in the Bible where does it say to live for yourself. Even Paul in Ephesians told people who was robbing and stealing, he said, stop doing it. He said, go out there and get you some kind of work and generate some income. He said, so do what? So you can do good and help others. It's never about yourself. God created fruit like an apple. And when you go look at an apple is never for personal consumption. God didn't create apples for personal consumption, for humans to eat the entire apple. Do you know anybody who eat the entire apple? I mean, they eat the core, the stem, right? You look at an apple, you have the fruit, you have the core, you have the stem, right? Yeah, and you have seeds. Well, you don't eat all that stuff. If you do, you're a fool. But why don't you eat all that? Why? Because the seeds you plant back in the ground to do what? Produce more. The core of the apple you can give to animals to eat for their nourishment. And the stem you can use as fertilizer for your trees to grow more. So even an apple is never for full personal consumption. So God will never give you anything just for yourself. So you need to succeed for others, to bless others. And I tell you, episode 91, why you must succeed. Then 6 areas you need to shift beliefs. So stuff I'm talking about, some of you need a mindset shift. You need to shift your beliefs because mindset is everything. I teach people that 92.8% of your success is mindset. The 7.2% is the strategies that I teach all my clients and students, and they excel with it. But you need the mindset first. So there's 6 areas where you need to shift right now. Then episode 93, one of my popular episodes, what is the good news of the kingdom? Episode 94, what is the good news of the kingdom? Part 1 and part 2. I can tell you this, it's not what you and I have been taught, the gospel of salvation. It's not the gospel of speaking in tongues, the gospel of healing, the gospel of whatever. It's not none of those things. It's only one good news that Jesus proclaimed, and that was the good news of the kingdom. But we today, quote unquote, the Christian church, love to tell you about the cross, love to tell you about the gospel of salvation, love to tell you about healing and speaking in tongues and everything else. But that's not the good news. Jesus didn't go around preaching the cross. Jesus didn't go around preaching about getting healing. Jesus didn't go around preaching everything else. He shared the good news of the kingdom. And you want to reach the world, the only way you're going to reach the world is the good news of the kingdom. It's not the religious stuff you've been teaching. And I used to make that mistake. I used to go out and do street evangelism. I used to go out and preach at Jay-Z, Beyonce concerts. I used to go out and preach at homosexual pride rallies and do all this stuff, right? Now, I did reach some people because I had a little different approach than a lot of people go out there preaching hell and damnation and, and condemnation and all that kind of stuff, right? Which is stupid. But there's another side to this. It's not just about the cross. I ask folks all day long, Easter is not about the cross. Jesus didn't come to earth just to die on the cross. He came on the earth to restore mankind, to give you back what you lost. Jesus said you lost a kingdom. You lost rulership. You lost dominion. You didn't lose a religion called Christianity. You don't inherit. I read that today. The Father said he gladly want to give you the kingdom. Now, it didn't say he would want to gladly give you a religion in Luke. Jesus said that he gives you a kingdom. I infer a kingdom upon you. He said you will inherit a kingdom that was created before the very foundations of the world. Not a religion called Christianity. But we got it twisted. The church is so corporate and institutionalized today, and it's so ineffective. That's why the world doesn't bother with the church. Why is this? Sinners love Jesus. Sinners would jump over trees, come through roofs, climb on one another, chase, follow, beat down doors to get to Jesus. Why they don't do that to go to your church? How many sinners are staying out overnight to go to your church? I can tell you none. Because none stayed at the church I went to ever in my life. Because why? We don't teach and preach the kingdom. We preach and teach everything else. Then if a sinner come in there, most of us are going to judge him and condemn him. I used to do that craziness too when I was lost. You can be saved and be lost. See, being saved has nothing to do with repentance. You can be saved and still be lost mentally. That's why Jesus said you got to repent. Repent means what? Change your mind, change your thinking. When you get saved, you get born again, that's a spiritual transformation. It has nothing to do with the way you think. Ooh, come. It has nothing to do with the way you think. You can be saved and still lost. All right, episode 95, little known secrets about owner manuals. God gave me a revelation about owner manuals. Episode 95, then episode 96, understanding paid ads. People love that one there. Let me tell you this, guys. If you want to build a business fast and prosperous and reach and impact more people, you got to begin to do paid ads. Don't fall for these people out there telling you they're building a business fast, doing everything for free or organic. They are lying. I saw something today. This guy sent out an email and said, hey, you can build a 6 or 7 figure business fast without investing a dime on paid ads. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And guess what? He's running paid ads. And I'm like, huh? Shouldn't you be practicing what you preach? If you can build a 6 or 7 figure business fast, organically for free, without doing paid ads, shouldn't that what you should be doing? There's so much hypocrisy out there, guys, from these so-called gurus. And I'm going to tell you, people who are preaching to you and telling you can build a business fast for free, organically by posting in groups or inboxing people, Messenger, or whatever, they're going on Clubhouse, whatever, they're lying to you. Don't fall for it. You cannot ever build a business fast with free organic strategies. It's slow, it's inconsistent, and it's not trackable. You have to understand paid ads to do that. I have not met anybody personally who has a multiple 6-figure plus business, multiple 6 figures, doing at least $250,000 plus a year, who did 100% free organic in 1 year. I'm not talking about in 10 years, in 1 year. So don't fall for that stuff, guys. It's not true. You should do both. But understand paid ads. Because paid ads will radically transform your life. Paid ads is simply just like putting lighted fluid on a fire. It will take what you're doing to a whole nother level and grow it fast. It's like put manure on the farm. Put a manure, right? And episode 97 is powerful. The power of vision. I shared you the vision God gave me because my business now is going through a metamorphosis and growing. And we got some brand new be launching in God's masterpiece now. That's crazy. It's amazing. Rapid success system is unlike anything else. We've evolved and grown. And God gave me a vision, a crystal clear vision that was bigger than me. I can tell you this: if your vision, God will never give you provision if you have no vision. And if your vision is exclusively about you, God ain't got nothing to do with it. So the power of vision, that's how you attract the right people to your business. And it's amazing what God is doing now with our team and our staff and our growth and with our clients. And just people want to be a part of what we're doing. People want to be a part of our team, part of our staff now. Power of our vision and the power of purpose, episode 98. Why do you exist? If you're crystal clear on what you do and why, it will radically transform everything. And then episode 99. Wow. 3 essentials. Qualities of effective leadership. And guys, that's a recap. I mean, I can just tell you the journey from where God took me, from the darkness, from the betrayals, from the hurts, from the pains, from the sickness, from the challenges along the way. You know, you have a lot of challenges with believers. Unfortunately, a lot of times you can do business with believers and the religious mindset comes up. That arrogance pops up. Pride pops up. You even see a lot of unethical things as well, guys. But throughout it all, God has reminded me in Romans 8:28, all things work together for good. And I have no regrets now. I've went through a lot. I've had some people, I did business with, kind of just turn coat and kind of, pull a little Judas on what we're doing as well. And I can do is forgive him and pray for him. And same thing with, share about other mentors. So here's the deal. When you're building something bigger than yourself, you got to go through some stuff. There's a journey. And you will have different people come and go. Some people are here just for a season. Some people are here for the long haul. And you got to be okay with that. And trust God. God been teaching me how to forgive. God been teaching me how to focus, how to just solely depend on Him. And not get bitter at others. Right? Because you will have all kinds of stuff that happen. You'll have people who will they will file false disputes with credit card companies. They pay you for your service. They agree to the terms, and they will go and lie and say they never paid for it. They will say they never did it. I mean, and these people, you will have all kinds of stuff, guys. And my wife revealed to me, everyone isn't there. Right? And integrity should be something that is a characteristic of kingdom people, but everyone isn't there. And everyone who claims to be something doesn't mean they are. So realize that if you're going to build anything big and massive for the kingdom, you're going to go through a lot of pain, a lot of growth, a lot of development. But the race is not given to the swift, but what? He who endures to the end. Can you hang in there with perseverance and persistence, right? Steadfastness, right? Think of the fruit of the Spirit. That has been on display through this entire journey with me from launching this podcast, from getting to episode 100. The things that have happened in our business, outside of our business, in life, each one of those fruits of the Spirit has been on display. Pain, suffering, setback, disappointment, betrayal from friends, business partners, mentors, you can name it, clients, right? You get it all. But that's part of the process. Jesus went through a lot too, right? And when you have a clear vision that's bigger than you, that's impacted others, see, God will give you a vision of where you're going, but He would never tell you what's going to happen along the way. He's not going to tell you, well, one of your business partners that you did business with is going to turn on you and betray you. He's not going to tell you your mentor is going to do this to you. He's not going to tell you that clients are going to lie on you or do this on you. He's not going to tell you they're going to get sick with this. He's not going to tell you these different things, right? Because if He told you, then it would take no faith, right? And you cannot grow. You cannot grow because it's all about being what? Conformed to the image of Christ, Romans 8:29. And remember, all things work together for good. But remember, you got to go through things in order to continue to be conformed to the image of Christ. Why? Because it's all about becoming more Christ-like. That's what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's been cool. We've been like an hour, but it's all good. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Any questions, comments, let me know. Let me know what stood out to you. Take a snapshot of this episode, post on Instagram at Christopher_Harrell, on Facebook at Kingdom Marketing Secrets page, or on my personal Facebook page, and say, hey, this is what I found most valuable about episode 100. Congratulations, Chris, hitting 100 episodes. I'm excited, guys, what God has in store. And I didn't share this with you too, but I wanted to quit this podcast. I was ready to give up. Probably 2 times since I launched this thing. I wanted to give up when I had COVID. I wanted to give up then. And I want to give up probably about a year ago. I wanted to give up and say, man, forget this. But I couldn't. Because I had a friend of mine named Selwyn. Because I know he had launched a podcast, but I think he didn't persevere with it. And he asked me, dude, how do you keep coming with the episodes? How do you keep doing this? I said, man, I love it. It's what God called me to do. Just like God called me to create the Money Marketing Masterclass. God called me to help Christ-centered coaches, consultants, and experts grow their business now. You know, God called me to start God's masterpiece. Right? But I want to give up twice. And that's okay, guys. It's okay to want to give up. It's not a sin wanting to give up. But don't. Because this what shows the perseverance. I wanted to give up 2 times. I'm saying, man, I've done enough. Cool. I don't need to do this anymore. Right? I'm paying for the hosting and all this stuff. I don't need to do this anymore. But I didn't. And now I'm like, wow, 100 episodes. And me, I very rarely celebrate my successes. But I'm trying to get better at celebrating my successes. I'll be the type of person that go on to the next deal. But I want to celebrate this episode here because I could and tell myself, Chris, congratulations, brother. That's a good accomplishment. You did 100 episodes. As you know, the average person wouldn't do that, wouldn't stick with it. But you did, despite all the stuff you went through. It's so much more, too, that maybe I can tell you, on a one-on-one. But I hope this inspired you. I hope this motivated you. You're going to go through things, but keep pressing. If God called you to do something, keep pressing. You need help, guys. You know where I'm at. Again, go and register for the Money Marketing Masterclass. It's going to radically transform your life. Go to moneymarketingmasterclass.com right now. And it's going to be awesome. Go get my book, kingdomaffirmations.com, and make sure you're part of our God's Masterpiece Academy at godsmasterpieceacademy.com as well. So, my friend, hope you enjoyed this episode. Keep me in prayer. Because I'm like, well, Chris, I ask myself, well, should I stop at the 100? So keep me in prayer and see what does God want me to do with this assignment. If you've been enjoying this, let me know. If you've been enjoying this episode, do me a favor. Leave me a review. Leave a review. I need your reviews. I need to hear your encouraging words. All right? I'd like to hear that. So leave me a review. Subscribe to this podcast and tell about 10 other people. Go and tell 10 other people, check out this podcast. It's kingdom-based, it's business, it's marketing, it's unlike anything else out there. And have them go do the same thing. Subscribe to this podcast and tell 10 other people. But share the wealth. Let's get this out, guys. Because this is kingdom stuff. And share it with secular people, too. Share it with secular people. Because they need to hear the kingdom. Because I'm not talking about religion. They don't want to hear religion, but they want to hear the kingdom. Because they want the kingdom, but they don't know it. And they don't want religion. They don't want your Christianity. They want the kingdom. So, all right, guys, I love you. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think about these 100 episodes and pray for me to do 100 more if that's according to God's plan for me. All right, guys, I'm going to talk to you later. Remember this, put God first in all that you do, and you too shall succeed. Peace and God bless.